QURE starting to move now. Again, coming right out of that, right off of that flatness from this morning. We should just big gap up, starting to move now, pushing up higher. Hard to say where it's going to go. It's not really any levels above here. I guess there are actually if you go back far enough in time. Yeah, you go back to 2020. It's got to level up to about $70. So it does have some resistance up there, but it's been a long time. CLPT. CLPT trading in sympathy with QURE, I'm told. CLPT right here, yeah, looks pretty nice. QURE right there. QURE pulling back a little bit now. SPY also pulling in a little bit. Baidu moved up nicely with the other Chinese stocks this morning, pulling back a little bit now. Baba pulling back a little bit now. PDD pulling back just a bit. Riot, the stock that was doing good relative strength this morning, really not following through at all here in a moment. There's QURE. Oops. There it is. See if it bounces again. Can you do spreads in a trading or cash account? You'd have to call them. I don't know, Jacob. I'm not sure if you can do spreads. Usually cash accounts, they don't let you use spreads, but it just depends on the brokerage house. You'd have to call them and ask them if you can do spreads. Tell them you want to do spreads. See what they'll tell you. Pretty big drop in Halo. Yeah, it's right down to the algo support line, right down to the 15. Yeah, we'll see what it does. Again, wait toward the end of the day to see what the daily chart looks like. You'll drive yourself crazy watching trades on something like Halo, which is a very bullish stock. I mean, there's no question that this is a bullish stock. So yeah, we're getting a pullback today. Is this going to continue? We don't know. We do have a nice little algo line right there that it's coming down touching. So, and we got support on the 15 is right there as well. And see how crummy this volume is? This is not a big sell-off. This volume is very low. The lowest week volume we've seen in a while. For the ACN spread, am I saying to buy it for 75 to 80 and take profits when it reaches $1? Correct. That's correct. But you got to get filled first. A lot of people haven't got filled on it. If I looked at the daily chart for PGY, I have. Yep, it's pulling back today. And again, my whole thesis on this is this gap fill. It's giant gap. So again, I've taken two-thirds of my trade, my options off, and I've got 1/3 left. I'm going to watch this. I'm not going to exit if it stays in this gap. If it gets down here by the 50 and starts to fail, then I'll take it off. But as of right now, I'm just going to wait to see what it does here. Again, the thesis is based on that gap fill. Hey, Heaven, good morning. How are you this morning? But it's a pretty slow market today. This QURE has been a huge mover here today, a huge gap up. Trying to push higher right now. Just to recap, I traded Tesla this morning for a long, for a quick dollar profit per contract. Right now, it's pulling back. We took a time spread at ACN, which is right here. A lot of people haven't got filled on it yet. I'm trying to get filled at 75 to 80. I did get filled at 80. Some people got filled at 80. Some people are still waiting to get filled. Then I put a sell order in at $1.
USAU, a short report out there by BMF, as we are watching markets getting weaker in the lunch session. Currently, the Dow down about 2%, S&P down 0.25%.
So SPY moving down, Q's moving down. Q's moving down right here. SPY moving down. So the market getting pretty weak. Again, the SPY's coming up on the 8 exponential moving average on the daily chart. Harry, you was able to get to ACE and become to 81, and then it filled me at 80. Okay, good job. Yeah, you have to play around with those things a little bit. As the SPY came right down to the 8. Now watch the SPY here on this 8. It's coming right down to the 8. Is it going to hold here or not? That's the question. This is and again, we've been seeing this pattern with the market very frequently here for the last 4 or 5 months. It makes a new all-time high, and then it pulls back a little bit. Pulls back to the 8, back to the 15, and bounces again. So we're doing the exact same thing right now. If you look at the SPY daily chart right here, that's what you'll see. It's been an uptrend all the way since April, since the tariffs were put on and taken off. And it goes up, it puts a new all-time high in, it pulls back right to the 8. Goes up, puts a new all-time high in, pulled back all the way back down to the algo line here. This was a jobs report, and then it moved up. You put a new all-time high, pull back to the 8 and 15. Goes up, puts in a new all-time high, pulls back. Goes up, puts an all-time high, pulls back. Puts in a new all-time high, pulls back. That's what it's been doing for months here. So this pulling back to the 8, it's just a matter of where this is going to find support. And eventually one of these is going to fail. But so far, this has been the pattern. So as of right now, the market is bearish today, but bullish on long term. QURE, by the way, see how fast the market's coming in. See what QURE has got. Really, really great relative strength there right now. Tesla's losing some relative strength. It's heading back down now with the market.
Article up by Politico says Schumer's leadership is increasingly toxic among Senate candidates.
QURE again with great relative strength to the market here. So if you're in QURE, if you took this trade, it's probably a good time to get out right now. It's still very relatively strong to the market, but the market's not giving us any help here. Now it pulled right down to the 8 exponential moving average on the SPY. Again, the SPY exponential move 8 exponential moving average was is 661.20. 661.20. It's right. We're right on it right now. So will we bounce here? We don't know, but this is definitely a support level for the SPY. Am I still holding target, Marilyn? I am, yes. I'm just watching it today and yesterday. It's still bearish on the daily chart. As far as it is up a little bit today, but here's my chart on target. I'm short. I mean, I got to be short this. I mean, it's moving down. It's moving up today, but still below the 8, which is sloping down. The 15 is sloping down. This is a horizontal resistance level 87.88. Went right to it yesterday. Close to it today. Still in it short. Yes. QURE still creeping up. Again, Ari points out he was able to get into ACN by going to 81 cents, and then it filled him at 80. So, if you aren't in it, you can cancel your order and put it back in again. Sometimes that will work. Although it's printing 95 cents right now. QRE still going. I have to go way back in time to find any kind of resistance levels on this thing. put a few on. Some decent resistance around 47.64, 47.64, maybe 47.70 or so. That's the next resistance, and around 48. Quite a few high volume resistance levels in this area, but way back in 2020. They go way back. So here's the chart with QURE now, with resistance levels drawn. 48.14, 50.77. And you can see how much relative strength that QURE's got. Is the SPY falling below the 8 now? Falling below the 8. So you gotta watch the SPY. Might pull all the way down to the 15, which is a ways to go. And that's actually at an algo line here. Here's your support level on the SPY now if it falls below there. Down here to this algo line right there, and also the 15 right there. So it's quite a bit further down. So we're having a bearish day right now. This is a bearish trending day. Market internals coming in right with the market. Again, stocks like ACN, which we're basing it on earnings, doesn't really make any difference. But anything we're long is gonna take some heat today. GLW is down about $1 right now. Still a nice setup. Surprisingly, Target's still up. PGY pulling down right at the gap fill right now. And Halo also very weak here, right down to below the 8. We're sitting right on the 15. So man, the market's pulling back, is taking a lot of stocks with it right now. So just have to wait and see. VSAT as well is taking heavy heat today. So most of our stocks most of our long stocks are taking heat as the market pulls back. And again, we don't know if this is going to continue, if it's just a temporary thing. We don't know. We can't tell until the market just tells us. But right now, the market is very weak. 12 o'clock here, 12:01. Market pretty weak. Very definitely got a bearish trend right now to it. Market internals down, market's down. Um, Selling's going on here. Most of the bullish stocks are getting taking some heat right now. We just have to wait and see what it looks like later in the day. Tesla pulling back. QURE still pretty strong here. It's still continuing on up. One of the better stocks here. This is a momentum stock. Very nice move in it. Suzanne, you get filled at 85 on ACN. Okay, good. Very patient. It's still printing 95. That's the thing with these spreads, and when you're trying to do multiple legs like that, two legs, you can get filled or not get filled. You just have to be patient. Again, take the close, shut the, basically cancel the trade, put it back in again at the same price, see what happens. Tesla back to 434 here. 427 is support level on Tesla. 427. I'm not touching anything right now. Let's just see what this buy does. I have the ACN on. I took Tesla profits this morning. Took profits in Tesla this morning. That's it right now. CEG strong through this drop. Thank you. Come on, CEG. Yeah. Again, it's strong through the drop. This is the daily chart on it, though. I mean, to me, that's not something I'm going to trade. It is strong right now. It got relative strength. Here's the market and the market internals all coming in. It's still holding up pretty well. Constellation Energy. What's Oxy doing? Oxy's also fairly strong today. But the daily chart in CEG, I mean, I can't trade that. I mean, you can intraday trade it, but I can't trade this long. It might work. I mean, this is a pretty nice uptrend in this thing, but this is way too choppy for me. Doug, just curious, at GLW, wasn't it way overbought? I'm not sure why you would think it was way overbought. I mean, other than the fact that it's moving up, and the price is high, but it's not overbought relative to the where the 8 is. I mean, this was not extended from the 8. This is just a nice smooth move up, just like we pulled back, came here, we pulled back, bounced up again. So no, I wouldn't say it was overbought at all. This is a beautiful chart. I mean, if you look at this chart, what direction you think this is gonna? If you think that you're gonna try to pick the top on this and short it, that would be one thing that I would never do. But do I think this is way overbought? Absolutely not. It's way overbought when it gets extended. This would be considered overbought here. Want to see how far that is away from the 8 exponential moving average? That would be considered being overbought. And then it moves sideways until the 8 catches up with it. And now it's just grinding up here. No, I'm absolutely not considering over. Just because the price is high doesn't mean that the stock is overbought. It's not overbought. It's just grinding higher. These things can keep grinding higher for a couple of years. I mean, not overbought. Not based on my criteria. If you look at the chart and think it's gone too high, but stocks that are putting in new all-time highs typically continue higher. So no. Again, considering relative overbought, whether something's overbought or oversold, look at your 8. The 8 is a really good indicator to tell you whether a stock is overbought or not, right? I mean, when you look at an indicator like that, that's going to tell you. I mean, you can see a lot of times if you look at overbought and oversold. If you look at the 8 exponential moving average, which is right here, at this one here, see how far this gets away from that 8. Is that going to keep it going? I mean, that's low. It's going to keep going down. Very unlikely. It gets down here. That's too far away, so it's likely going to bounce. Then when it gets too far extended like this, it usually comes back down again. Here it is extended here. That's why you look for stocks that are just kind of grinding up, following the 8. No stress here. No drama. Just grinding up. Is it selling off? Sure, it's selling off today, but so is everything for the most part. The SPY look at the SPY right here. It's just coming down like crazy. So something like that doesn't concern me in the least for a position I'm in. If it bounces off of the back and goes down to the 8 and bounces, I'm likely to add some more contracts to it. I'm not going to give VSAT much more time though. This one I went out to October on, and I don't like this candlestick today. Now, you have to take into consideration that the market is down quite a bit, but VSAT is down about 4.5% right now. So I'm considering taking it off if it falls much further. I'm just looking for some high volume lines here. Yeah, I've got one at right there. I've got one at about 278, a little bit lower. This is my high volume line in VSAT. This is taking a beating today. There's a high volume line right there. It goes across here. It's got a lot of support levels right there. That's the one I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to let it go all the way down here to the 50-day. Because this thing has been a pain with this big red candle here. It took us out of the other one, moved back up above the 8 and the 15, and now today it's selling off with the market. But this 27.72 is going to be the level that I'm going to use for if it breaks below there and closes below there, I'm taking it off. SPY still coming in. So market's gotten very, very weak today. All right, so the market's very, very weak here. We're selling off. This is a pretty decent sell-off in the market. If it's fairly significant, the volume is decent today on the SPY. It's fallen below the 8 and heading down toward the 15 right now. So we'll see where we close today. But again, this market's been doing this every time we put in new all-time highs and then pull back. So this is the first. We had a pretty good pullback yesterday. This is the first significant pullback, probably since middle of August or so, end of August. Tesla coming down with it. QURE still shooting up here, up 48 now. LAC pulled back. That was a speculative stock this morning on huge amount of out of the money calls on it. And ACN is really not doing too much of anything, so. Tech stocks selling off pretty hard right now. There's Nvidia coming in. Apple coming in. Amazon also coming in. Not that much, just a little bit. Amazon still big green red candle yesterday, another one today. Harry pointing up, pointing out. CDTX still looks good. CDTX. Again, these are biotechs. Yeah, up 20% of the same from the day. Again, it's an intraday trade. The thing is ripping up pretty high here, up 20% for the day. You can trade it intraday, but be careful on chasing this thing. Because definitely extended from the 8. 73.70 is the 8. $14. It's up $14, and the ATR is 555 in this thing. It's almost 3 ATRs extended. So again, you can intraday trade it, but I would definitely not hold it. And you certainly don't want to chase it up here. If you like it, wait till it comes back to the 15 or the VWAP and then bounces. SPY continuing down. Right now down 0.3, 0.5%, half a percent. Qs down 0.7. Yeah, the Qs are weaker than the SPY right now. Quite a lot of selling. IWM down about 0.8%. Oops. Google still, it also is red, but it's much better set up than Amazon. Amazon's very weak. Where do I get the 2 ATR rule? Is it something you noticed empirically with your trades? Yeah, no, it's what I've, when I've looked at stocks and look where they pull back when they get extended. Most of the time, it's in that 2 to 3 ATRs, even 1.5 to 2.5 ATRs. Once it's that many ATRs above the 8, generally speaking, it pulls back. So you've got to be cautious at those levels. Doesn't mean it won't keep going up, but it's not likely to keep going up much higher without. Listen, it's a reversion to the mean. It's a simple reversion to the mean. It's almost like using Bollinger Bands. Yeah, it is similar to using Bollinger Bands. But Bollinger Bands, Bollinger Bands fluctuate a lot. I mean, you can get outside of an upper level Bollinger Band, which is moving up, which means the stock can keep going up and get below the Bollinger Band, but still be rising. But with ATRs, it's different. ATRs, they do change some, but they're not as dynamic as Bollinger Bands are. I mean, I have a chart with Bollinger Bands on it, but I just color my candles. But if I take my SPY chart right here, all right, and I highlight the Bollinger Band. This is the 10-2 right here, Bollinger Band 10-2. If I highlight this, it's going to show you that Bollinger Band. There's a Bollinger Band there, right? See how it expands when the market stock moves up. Notice how it goes from green when it's just moving sideways to blue when the Bollinger Bands start to expand. And then I have another Bollinger Band that I can use, which is the 10-8. All right, so this is a different one. So I get upper level and lower level Bollinger Bands. All right, so there's your tight Bollinger Band here. All right, you see the tight Bollinger Band, and then this is the 10th one. Now this is the one that typically it's not going to exceed or go above it very often. Very, very unlikely that it's going to break above that level Bollinger Band and continue up. But you'll notice that it's pretty much close to the 2 ATRs. But it does vary a lot more. So anyway, and all I do in my chart here is as I change the colors of my candles. Notice how the Bollinger Band is flat here, and then it starts to expand. This going up, this going down. See, it turns to blue. Okay, so that's how I do that. But I don't want to keep them on the chart. It's too messy. But you can trade off of those things. When it gets above the purple lines right there, usually it's not gonna go any higher than the green. But the green's moving up, so it can still keep on going. So I just use distance from the ATR. I mean, I've worked with this stuff a lot, and came up with what I use, which I think is the most effective way, at least for me, to trade these things. There's a SPY right down just below the 8 right now, trying to bounce. Harry Bollinger's a nice guy. All I do is take. Yeah, it's a standard deviation of the price action. That's all it is. But expanding Bollinger Bands do tell you something. That's why I color my candles in my TC2000 chart to let me know if the Bollinger Bands are expanding, because expanding Bollinger Bands are compression breaks. You're breaking out of compression when that happens. Jarek, would I consider BTU extended or a grinding setup? Well, I mean, let's look at it. What do you think? I mean, this is a nice move. How far is it from the 8? That's why I use the 8. It's hard to eyeball it sometimes. The 8 is at 22.40. The stock is at 24. So it's $2.20 extended from the 8. $2.20, and your ATR is $1.03. So it's extended about 2 ATRs. So yeah, it is. It's a little extended. That doesn't mean I can't trade it intraday. It just means I'm probably not going to try to take a swing trade on it right now, because it's a little bit too far away from this 8. So it's likely to probably, it may not pull back, but it's likely to at least compress at that level. Terry, you have a level next to the VOLD down that shows that the ticker's price is above or below the ADMI by more than 2x. Are you looking at it on the daily chart? The how far it's extended on the daily chart or on the 5-minute chart? Yeah, ATR, Joe points out, is basically a more probability of a reversion to the mean, which is exactly what we said. Anthony, you close your ACN for almost 19%. Good job. You probably closed it at 95 cents, I'm assuming. ACN right now is trading at $1. I haven't got filled on it yet, though. You probably took it off at 95 cents, which is fine. You made a nice profit on it. And if you want to take if you're in ACN and you want to take it off at 95, there's nothing wrong with that. Because you're that way, you don't have to worry about the earnings tonight. And if it pulls back down this afternoon, you can put it back on again. In fact, I'm going to recommend that for anybody. I'm going to change the sell order to 95 because we've got a decent profit in it right now. We won't have to worry about it tonight. And if it pulls back down again, I'll re-enter it again. Sell order for 95 on ACN. If you get filled at 80. Even if you get filled at 85, you can take it off at 95. By bouncing, heading back up toward the 8 again. All right, so I changed that to 95 cents on ACN. Let's see what happened. I got closed at 95 cents as well. Actually, I got closed at 96 cents. I put it in at 95, got closed at 96. So I closed this at 96. I sold well, I'm going to say 95 on here. Sold it for 95, and I may re-enter if it heads back. I may actually put an order in there to buy it again for 80. Okay, we sold it for 95, and I don't know if everybody's going to get filled or not get filled on this. It's just trading at between 95 and $1 right now. Sold for 95. Now I might re-enter it later. See if it pulls back, if the price pulls back. But it's nice to get a time spread on that you can take a decent profit on. 15 cents on 80, which is about close to 20%, and without even having to hold it through earnings. To me, it's kind of like a gift. Why wait? No, you don't have anything to lose by putting it at 80 now, Ari. No problem. You can do that. You can put the order back on again for 80 cents to buy it. Okay, so I'm going to put an order in for ACN again as well, to try to buy it again for 80 cents. And I kind of doubt that I'm going to get filled on this. Um, but, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. If I don't, I've already made my profits on it and I'm done with it. Same strikes, yeah. Same strikes, Ari. 237.50s. Sell this week's 237.50s. Buy next week's 237.50s. I just don't think we're going to get filled. I think the volatility has gone up more, which has created the fact that that it went from 80 cents to 95 or a dollar. But I got an order in for 80. Let's see what happens. Right, so back in it again. We're trying to get back in it again. Took profits on the original position. All right, a little bit busy there. See how things are going over in the YouTube area. So, of course, target is relative strength right now. Yeah, it is, but it's just it is up today. But it's one of these stocks. This is a consumer defensive stock. So when the market starts to sell off, especially when the tech starts to sell off, a lot of times there'll be some buying going into some of the consumer defensive stocks. General Mills, Procter Gamble, all of those. But Target, which is also a consumer defensive stock, technically on the daily chart is still very, very bearish. So that's probably why there's some buying coming into it today. SPY trying to bounce. Tesla, whoops. Good heavens. Trying to type too fast. Tesla bouncing a little bit here. Riot, which was strong this morning, is weakened pretty hard. And QURE is still moving up to 51. This is a really big moving stock here today, up 263%. TNFA, yeah, that's the other one you mentioned, Ari, just bounced, just popped. And one thing about the stocks that Ari calls out, these are biotechs for the most part. And one thing you have to remember about biotechs, they're not impacted by the market. A pullback in the market today, it's not gonna hurt these biotech stocks. These biotech stocks trade on their own. These things are completely unrelated to the market. They trade with the biotech sector. They're very dependent on their FDA and what kind of results they're getting from their trials. Very big difference. So that's why stocks like this can just rip up. This thing is tearing up here right now. No options yet. You have to, and a lot of them, they don't have options, or if they do have options, the chains are awful. You can't really buy them, so you have to buy stocks and something like this, and you got to be fairly nimble. But just wanted to point that out. They're not. You can't look at relative strength and relative weakness on biotechs and compare it to what the market's doing. It's got nothing to do with what the market's doing. what you're going to see here now with the market pulling down like this is that all the people that were bearish earlier in the year, around April, that thought the market should never keep going up based on fundamentals, which I don't blame them because the fundamentals are awful. The jobs are horrible right now. Um, but that's Powell talked about. But is the market going to roll over? I don't know. I mean, AI is holding the market up very hard right now. There's a lot of speculation going on. So yeah, at some point in time, we're gonna come down. But is it going to happen now? We don't know. So SPY pops up to the 15. Now it's starting to flip back down again. So we just have to wait to see at the end of the day where the SPY ends. Is it going to end above the 8 or below the 8? Is it going to end below the 15 or again above the 15? We don't know. We just don't have any idea. In TNFA, Harry, I'll tell you what it's got for a float. It's got 10 million float. It's traded 21 million. Yeah, so it's traded twice the float already. It's definitely a Momo stock. It's definitely a momentum stock here. TNFA. You can trade it accordingly, and you want to use your 5-minute charts here to trade these. You don't want to try to stay in these things for too long, but it's bouncing up pretty strong. It had a if you look at this, if you look at the chart here on here, because I got the volume on here, you can see that it moved up on strong volume, pulled back right through the 8, the 15, and then the volume started to come in again. It popping again on big volume. And there it is right there. And we're likely you're going to find some resistance. Notice there's a gap right here that it's in, and this is where it's going to likely find resistance around 808. And it could obviously fall well before it hits that. Just be careful with these things. These are very quick trades, and not something I would recommend for novice or traders who aren't really good at reading technical analysis. I'm not going to try to chase it up here. I'm going to wait for it to pull back to around. I'd be interested at around $6. And TNFA still ripping up. And again, I can't chase it here. I gotta have some. I gotta have a support level that I can use to trade this thing. Otherwise, I'm chasing. This is FOMO. When you're chasing up, it could keep going. You could be right, but you could also in these stocks, this thing can turn around and drop $1 or two very, very quickly. So that's why I'm going to do that. You got into it last night, Larry. Yeah, you're in good shape. About 12:40 here. I'm going to take lunch pretty soon. So again, I can't change TNFA, but it was a beautiful run up here. But again, any kind of Momo stock, you got to have some support and resistance levels to use, and to get in. And if they get away from you like that, just forget them, because you're going to end up burning yourself if you follow these up. This is where the trade existed. This is where it took right here. See, it broke above the VWAP, it broke above the 8, right there in the 15. This is where the trade, with volume coming in, this is where the trade could be taken, not up here. Doesn't mean it won't keep going. It could very easily go another $2, $3, $4. But do you want to risk the drop that you could get? All right, I'm gonna get some lunch here in a minute. Just kind of watching the SPY, just kind of pulled down pretty hard today and just moved sideways. Harry, you think that could be a pump and dump? Says there's no biotech news. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know that better than I do, but this thing is up 150% right now. I know Cure did have news, CQURE, which makes it a little bit more of a solid pick that you can kind of give a little room to breathe. But TNFA, if this reverses, it can reverse brutal. It can reverse very, very, very quickly. So, and you're likely gonna get some halts in here when it's moving this fast. Okay, those are Momo stocks. All right, so I'm going to get some lunch. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the YouTube feed. Thanks everybody in YouTube for being here today. Pretty slow day. The market's in a bearish trend today, and downtrending. The SPY's come down pretty hard. You can see it's down here about 0.4%. Triple Qs also down. But again, it's early day. We don't know what the market's going to do later in the day, so we'll wait and see. The SPY pulled down below the 8 exponential moving average on the daily, which is kind of a key level. And now it's pretty much right on it. The 8 is 661.11 on the SPY. 661.11. There it is, 660, just about 40 cents below it. So basically on the 8 exponential moving average right now. So we'll see if that holds. All right, so I'm going to get some lunch. I'll close down the YouTube feed and we'll get started with. I'll get started with my lunch. We'll be watching the market during my lunch. So in case anybody has any questions, let me see if we do that. So again, thank you to YouTube folks. Again, you can go to rightlinetrading.com if you're interested in the room or any of the room or the software. I have an alert service, a room that I'm in all day long, as you've probably been hearing me talking. And this is the SPY Super System right here. Let us know whether institutions are in the trades or not in the trades, or if they're bullish or bearish. Very important piece of software, very critical to becoming consistently profitable, in my opinion. Is there an alert when I'm live? Sandy, every day at 11:30, around 11:30, I try to get on. I was a little late this morning because we were very busy. I was doing a time spread, etc. But every day at 11:30, Sandy. So be back tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11:30, I'll be up and live and running, right around there anyway. Thanks, appreciate it. See you tomorrow. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and shut down YouTube, and I will head for some lunch.